scratch one off my bucket list. I finally got to see Triumph live. Stay tuned for my review and, of course, concert clips from April Wine and Triumph. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome to episode 444. My name is Dan and I shall be your host today. Before we start off, if you do like this type of content, please like and subscribe, tell your friends, hit the little thumbs up and the little bell to be notified when I publish new content like this. Wow, what a night yesterday. So, Triumph and April Wine, May 2nd at the Ottawa Scotiabank Place with my buddy Concert Steph and Steph, who you've seen on the channel many times here. We were supposed to have my friend Yan with us, but that's another story in itself there. But wow, what an evening, guys. So, first of all, I'd like to say that I did an episode August 8th, 2025, which is episode 371, saying, here is my idea if ever Triumph were to reunite and do a concert. And I had that idea based on the final show that Ozzy did, with a whole bunch of people helping out. I'm like, why not do something like that? I doubt they saw my video, but whatever. This is exactly what happened here. So, but first I'm going to talk about April Wine. Okay, now I'll talk about a little bit of Triumph. And like I said, stay tuned. I've got some great clips from both bands. And like I said, both killed it. Okay. So first of all, this version of April Wine is without Miles Goodwin. He had passed away last year. But also, he also had retired from touring and gave his blessing to Marc Parent, which is now the frontman and lead singer of April Wine. And funny enough, I did not know who this guy was. Apparently, he is from the Ottawa-based synth band 8 Seconds, which had a very big or minor hit, whatever, with the Kiss You When It's Dangerous. Yeah, those guys. There's no original members left in April Wine. There is only one member left, which is Brian Greenway from the classic lineup, but he joined in 1977. And April Wine's first album was 1971. So there was 6 years of... Miles was the only one that was there from the beginning. But this... And like I said, it was a great show. I'm not even complaining. Sure, people will say it's a glorified cover band. Whatever. The songs were great. And this is one of those bands you realize, they played for about 45 minutes. Every song we knew. I knew, my friend Steph, and Steph knew them all. It's like it was just hit after hit after hit. Again, I don't know across the world how big these hits were, but they were huge here, April Wine in Canada, especially in the late 70s and up to the mid 80s. So yeah, there's going to be some great footage of April Wine. Again, great opening band. They killed it there. Great songs, great musicians, and whatnot. But now we are here to talk about Triumph. So my idea at the time was just to get a whole bunch of people to help Triumph out for this show. We know Rick Emmett can no longer hit those high notes that he did in the 80s. And trust me, those notes were high in the 80s, like vocally I'm talking about, not guitar. He can still play. And Gilmore, again, probably the better voice of the two today, I would say. Gilmore can still sing the high notes. But you had Gilmore on drums and vocals, Rick Emmett on guitar and vocals, Phil X on guitar and vocals, Brent Fitz on drums, keys, and background vocals, and of course Todd Kearns on bass and vocals. And there were songs from the first album all the way up to The Sport of Kings. Now, what was great here, it was, like I said, it was comparable to the Aussie, farewell tour there before he passed away. And all four members of, right, Triumph is usually just a power trio, but there were five people on stage, and four of them sang lead vocals. It was just a sharing of vocal duties here. Some, like Phil X, can still sing very high. Rick Emmett sang, to the best of his abilities, and it was still very fine. Same with Gilmore and Todd Kearns. Man, God, he can sing high too. That guy, and of course, Brent Fitz and Todd Kearns are like everywhere. They're wanted to play in people's bands right now. Like I remember they were in when Bob Kulick and Bruce Kulick played on the Kiss cruise. Well, Todd Kearns was singing the Paul Stanley '80s song. Like, this is when Paul Stanley was at his peak vocally there, and Todd Kearns was able to replicate what Paul Stanley did. And of course, Brent Fitz was on drums too. But yeah, all four did vocals. Certain songs. Like, okay, you're expecting to have Rick Emmett on vocals. Well, it was Phil X, or it was Gilmore supposed to be on vocals, and it was Todd Kearns singing. That like that there. And of course, there were no egos that night. Man, Phil X and Rick Emmett were just playing off each other with guitar solos. It was a lead guitarist to Wet Dreams, basically there. It was so great to see. And that's sorry. That's the thing. I wasn't sure what to expect for this show. My God, sorry. I guess I'm still recovering from last night there. But yeah, I wasn't sure what to expect from this show. And what I saw last night was not what I was expecting, but it was even better. Like, with the four vocalists, everything worked. Everyone was helping each other out. I mean, there were still glitches here and there. Like, two songs I've noticed, I'm like, ooh, okay. Like the beginning of Spellbound, I think Gil just missed one of the cues, and the band were starting on the song, and he was still doing the hi-hat part, which is fine. That's live music, folks. And there was one, it was Never Surrender. That's the only one that felt a little out of place. Not because it sucked. It's because that, to me, is Rick Emmett singing really high back in the 80s, and they had to down-tune it so much that at first I was like, I didn't find it very recognizable, but still, good song right there. There was a lot, you'll see there's going to be a lot of visuals on the big screen in the back, just an ode to their past, past pictures or videos, which was actually very cool, very, how do you say that, heartfelt to watch. It was actually very cool for that. I will say that the song of the night for me, and check out the clips, is when they played Allied Forces live. And we were at the end of the song, me and my friend Steph were like, wow, that was freaking cool. And what was cool about it is, the album cover for Allied Forces has got a Flying V guitar. Well, Rick Emmett and Phil X were both playing with Flying V guitars, and even the bass player had a Flying V bass. That was so cool. I'm like, that was cool. So yeah, that was that. And of course, you'll notice at the end, Magic Power, the crowd was just singing the whole song, and that's what Rick Emmett, before playing that song, you just saying, why he was hesitant to do a tour. But the songs were getting a life of their own. He explained that, during baseball games, commercials, they were playing Triumph. Hockey games, last playoffs, not this current playoffs, but last playoffs, you couldn't even watch one single game without hearing Lay It on the Line. Yeah, the songs were actually getting a life of their own here, that people, wanted to see this. And when they played in front of the Edmonton Oilers crowd last playoffs, that was the spark, and that's what started my thinking of how they could do this type of show. So I'll admit, like I said, this was to me a great bucket list, a great way to end a career. I'm so happy I got to see this show yesterday. I even had, I wouldn't say tears in my eyes, but I was a little emotional when they played Somebody's Out There. And people are like, okay, well, why that song then? Well, you know what? That's the first song or first video I ever saw of Triumph. I knew the album covers. I'd heard Follow Your Heart probably at the time, but Somebody's Out There was probably the first time I saw a brand new video. I'm like, oh, that's Triumph, you know? And of course, at the end, when the crowd was just singing Magic Power, and you know, you'll see it in the video there. And yeah, I only have good things to say. Like I said, live shows with mistakes, you know, proves it's live. You know, this was definitely live, and Rick and Gil, when they got Todd Kearns, Phil X, and Brent Fitz to play with them, that just worked like a charm. Like those guys, though, like especially Brent Fitz and Todd Kearns, are wanted to be in people's bands as, you know, hired guns. You know, that's what they are. But they're wanted for a reason, because they can actually deliver. And even Phil X like to play with Rick Emmett, and you could see Rick Emmett was having fun that night. The whole band was having fun. That was just a great, great show. So I am happy I got to see Triumph for the first time, and I would assume the last time. For anybody out there, you know, hesitant of going to see this show, I mean, go, man. If they're coming to your town, go. It was a banger. It made you feel good, and even Rick Emmett, you know, with the world the way it is going now, Rick said it best last night. It goes, we feel that there needs to be a lot of hope in the world right now, and you know, that's what Triumph songs are. You know, a lot about hope. You know, follow your heart, hold on to your dream, the magic power of music. You know, stuff like that. So yeah, thumbs up for me. Like I said, I'm so happy I got to see this show here with my buddies Steph and Steph. Sorry, Jan, like I said, I know you couldn't make it there, but man, that was quite a show. Even your cousin Rocco was like, "Pauvre Jan." But anyway, it was all good there, man. Great, great time to have seen this show. I'm very happy I did, and that is one off from my, like, now I can actually rest and, you know, say that I have seen Triumph live. So check out the clips here of April Wine first, and then Triumph. And hope you guys enjoy. Let me know in the comments what you think. But like I said, if you got a chance and they're coming to your town, go. It's actually definitely worth it here. So enjoy the clips here from April Wine and Triumph, and we shall see you guys next episode. Take care. Bye-bye.
I'm so